Hi, greetings and welcome. This week on the update we're going to be talking about where I've been for the past few weeks. We're going to talk a little bit about Galactic.Academy. We're also going to talk a little bit about some of the other stuff that's been happening in my absence, such as Star Citizen going into 3.15, as well as Helluva Boss. All that coming up on this week's update. Hi, greetings and welcome fellow citizens. Firstly, sorry that I've been away for such a long time. Again, yeah, I know that seems to be happening to me quite frequently. It's just that I don't really get much time to do the YouTube stuff, simply because I'm doing so much other stuff at the same time, mostly including just work. But, well, that and playing games and more games and watching anime and such and more games. But yeah, anyway, on to what we've got going on for this week's update. I really need to get back to doing weekly updates. Okay, as I said, firstly, sorry I haven't been on for some time. I've been a little bit unwell. I had a little bit of a kidney problems where, well, not surgery, or I didn't have to go to hospital or anything, but I was in a lot of pain because of my kidneys. But as I do a lot of doctrines of plants, doctrine of plants, basically I eat certain plants and vegetables and minerals and to try and see if I can help myself better, rather than take all those nasty chemicals that the doctors like to prescribe that got all those wonderful side effects such as bleeding out of your anus. Oh yeah, depression, lack of sex drive, all that stuff, yeah. But anyway, I managed to get myself a little bit healthy again because I was in so much pain when I think I had some when I had the problems with my kidneys. But a lot better now, so I'm back up and running, so yay, great for me. But I do need to be careful as it still seems to be rearing up every now and again. Okay, that going on, we have got a lot to talk about. Firstly, I was contacted by someone in regards to the domain that I have. Well, I've got several domains. I like to collect domains for one reason or another. And one of the domains that I've got is Galactic.Academy. And the idea that I have behind this is an old idea, an old thing that I really wanted to do. So that's why I got the domain for it. So hopefully maybe one day I get the technical know-how to actually try and push it through and try and see if I can actually create this. But I've been procrastinating on this for so long that someone says, hey, if you're not going to use this domain, let me just take it off your hands for you. And I'll say no, because if you take it off my hands, that means I have to give up on what I originally wanted to do with this, and I didn't want to do that. I really didn't want to do that. I do want to actually make this work. So we kind of come into an idea of a sort of little partnership here, and that is I would make videos for what I was trying to do. The idea of what I was trying to do behind Galactic.Academy is it is encompassing pretty much a whole world of computer spaceflight gaming, such as you say, you've got like X Beyond the Frontier, you've got Star Citizen, you've got Elite Dangerous. I mean, you've got a whole slew of different space games out there. but in essence they do use some of the same lore. For example, interdictors. If I said to you, we're interdicting this ship, a lot of people wouldn't know what I mean. However, it's not only been used in Star Trek, used in Star Wars lore, but it's also been used in Star Citizen, as well as a couple of others I just can't think of right now. But it has been used in quite a few games, and it basically means taking someone out of warps to collapse the warp field. And then behind that, there is a whole lot of real-world science that can be applied to science fiction. What is the science fiction? Sorry, what is the actual science in science fiction for future space flight, and how are we using that in games right now? Now, I created a syllabus of over 10 classes, and these classes will like break down into different areas, subjects such as we've got like the piloting course that tells between Newton force movement and decoupled mode and recoupled mode, coupled mode, or you've got like engineering that talks about how capacitors work, or how, well, lots of stuff really. So I know I'm like just kind of just putting out like a grand old syllabus, but I'll put up here behind me a little list of my current syllabus that I'm currently working on, and each one of these syllabuses, each one of these lessons, each one of these classes have a certain basis in actual science that we would possibly be using in the future technology of space flight and interstellar travel. So now the partnership that I had with this with other company, that they basically kind of wanted me to make videos on these syllabuses. Basically, I'd write out the entire script for an entire lesson, and then I'll present it like I'm doing now, like here. And hopefully a little bit more structured, a little bit more flashy stuff, a little bit green screen behind me, and some tech jargon that'll come up and show people how things work, like the firing arc of how a firing arc of a spaceship works. So if you really was a small fighter trying to get into a big fighter, you need to like go into like these sort of areas here. But yeah, these are like the idea. These are like the ideas, and I would like to try and see if I can make at least one of these lessons a week. I know that's going to be that's going to be a challenging task, considering how lazy I've been late. But it's something that I really got to try and push through, and see if I can try and make at least one of these videos a week in regards to Galactic.Academy. So if you see film video clips like that coming up, that's what they're going to be booked for, and I'm going to put them in a whole separate playlists for Galactic.Academy. So I do apologise if you only came here for like VR content or PSVR content, but as I said, we don't really have the subscribers here at the moment to be to specialise in any one area. I do what I like to do, what I enjoy doing. That's why we do like all the events and all the other sort of stuff, because this channel here is mostly about what I find interesting and what I want to do. Yeah, cool. So yes, look out for those videos coming up, and also a little subtle hint: if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We need subscribers. As soon as we get that 1,000 subscriber mark down below, then we'll start being able to make money on this channel. And once we start making money on this channel, I can actually work a lot more on getting this channel up and running properly. Okay. Second thing, Star Citizen. So we're going from one thing to another. Star Citizen, just a little bit of news that's going on for you. If you guys don't know, Star Citizen 3.15 is going to be launched next month. So I think that's sometime in October. Now, the reason that 3.15 is going to be a big deal is because it is going to be a complete wipe. No ifs, no buts. This is not speculation. This is confirmed. There is going to be a complete wipe of the database in Star Citizen come October for patch 3.15. So the last patch, in case some of you guys didn't know, the last patch that had a wipe was, I think it was 3.08, which was all the way back in May in 2020. So we've had over about a year and a half of people grinding, leveling up their characters, getting all that money coming in, buying their own fleets of starships, and got their own little personal armadas. Unfortunately, that's all going, I'm afraid. Now, yes, I do know that it is going to be sad seeing all your hard-on work just poof into the darkness, but it is for a good reason. It is for a good reason. It's because 3.15, they are totally restructuring everything that is to do with inventory. This has been in the work, and this has been what we've been asking for a long time. They need to do the wipe so that the inventory system that they're going to be implemented in 3.15 is going to work. Now, the way the new inventory works is, if you haven't seen it already from all the other YouTubers, is basically instead of the whole global inventory that you had access to before, you are going to have certain location-based inventory. For example, the largest inventory that you're going to be able to have access to is what's called the local inventory, which could be at whatever location. Sorry, the location-based inventory, not local, location-based inventory. Get it right. And location-based infantry. I'm starting to talk about shit. My nail's gone a little bit further. Right, but the location-based inventory, yeah, I got it tongue-tied, is basically wherever you are located at that time. So if you're in Port Olisar will have its own inventory for you. So if you want to have store all of like your outfits, your guns, your weapons, you store them at the location-based inventory at Port Olisar. So if you go to some place like Area 18, you won't have access to it unless you store it in Area 18's location-based inventory. The next level down is Starship Inventory. So anything that's inside, although this hasn't been confirmed, this is more or less what we believe is going to be the case. Starship Inventory is basically whatever you put into your starship. So if you have got an Aurora, not an Aurora, because that doesn't really have. If you've got say like an 890 jump, then that itself will have its own inventory that you can put stuff in and get stuff out of, whether it be armor and such. But if your ship gets destroyed, then you will lose everything that you put into the ship. So if you were going out on a mission in say like a Cutlass, and you wanted to like bring up all your firearms and all your firearms and some nice armor, so you can go out cave hunting, and then some dickhead comes in and just blows up your ship whilst you're in the cave, then everything that you put on your ship is gone. So that will then lead to people thinking only taking what they need for that mission. So you will have your main base of operations located at such and such location, whether it's Port Olisar, Lorville, Orison, or Area 18. And when you set those up as your base locations, you will respawn in the hospitals at those locations, or hospitals that are near those locations, and then you can have access to your entire inventory. Well, I wouldn't say entire inventory, but they are going to be limited to that space. So you can't have just bring in everything. It will be still limited, but it will be the biggest inventory space that you can have. Next one down is what you put into your Starship. Underneath that is location-based inventory, and that is basically if there's like a box outside in the open area, you can all the stuff that's inside that box is up for grabs. Or if you've got an external cargo bay on your ship like the Aurora, because the external cargo bay is underneath the ship, not inside the ship, then you can access that. Or the dead bodies of the people that you kill, such as other players. So therefore, if you go around shooting other players, if you shot another player, you can then loot their bodies. Yay! I'm sure there's no one that's going to abuse that or have a lot of fun with that. Yeah. Okay, and after location-based inventory is personal inventory. Now, personal inventory is what you've got in your backpack or what you've got in your pockets, or let's just say you've got a jacket with some like nice big pockets, it's whatever is in there, because you can put on armor. The clothes and equipment that you put on can also have cargo space or inventory space, and that inventory space is your location. So is your personal inventory for you to move things in and out of, such as like you've got like a shotgun in your backpack, or you've got a shotgun over your shoulders, pistols in your legs, etc, 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 and then you can like drag it out of your inventory and onto your body using their new drag and drop system. Cool. Excellent. Thirdly, okay, so that's pretty much all that I had to explain for Star Citizen. The next thing that was coming up, I wanted to have a little word with Helluva Boss. Helluva Boss. Now, Helluva Boss just dropped a couple of days ago from when I filmed this. I have no idea when this is actually going to go out, so I do apologise if this goes out late. But Helluva Boss just dropped a couple of days, and to be perfectly honest, it is awesome. Perfect. Helluva Boss Episode 6 Truth Seekers. So if you haven't seen that, I'll put a link down in the description so you can go and see it. Because as I said, I have been following Helluva Boss and I have enjoyed every single episode. Every time they bring out a new episode, they always seem to raise the bar on this. And I absolutely love the new love this new episode. They took a lot of time to actually do this, and they did tell us beforehand, please wait, we've got a lot of work to do on this, and we was not disappointed. The action sequences spot on. The dream sequence mix between the Disney variation and the Cuphead variation, they were a perfect opposite clash. And this and the music that they put into there was really on par for the actions and what was spoken with inside those memory sequences. And the final action sequence where like Blitz, Motzi, Luna, Millie, and they were all in their own element, and we love seeing them in their element, just hacking, killing, murdering away, and yeah, it was absolutely awesome. But my best moment, I think, was when Stolas appeared, when the darkness came down. By the way, spoilers. I should say spoilers. Should I say spoilers? Well, yeah. If you haven't, I'm putting the link in the description. If you haven't seen it, go watch it now, and then come back here, because there's something that I really want to say. There are a couple of things that I want to say about this that are probably in spoiler territory. So go on, go watch it. Go watch. Okay, you done watching that? Okay, now firstly, at the beginning you see the two Men in Black characters. everyone that I see talk about this, they keep on talking about as Men in Black, but I don't think that they're Men in Black. If anything, they're more X-Files. Because Men in Black is more like the hidden agency that looks for aliens amongst the stars. But X-Files, because you've got the Mulder and Scully, these two basically just reek of more. Well, they make me really, really think of Mulder and Scully, how they perfectly complement each other with their shades, their dark overalls, their nice suits and ties, and the only people having a gun whilst everyone else is throwing around knives and swords. And yeah, and those, well, I don't think you actually saw it in there, but the other thing we need to find out about on the X-Files is those damn torches that never ever seem to run out of battery power. But yeah, I personally think that those two characters at the beginning were more Men in Black. And now the other thing that I want to talk about is Stolas's entry. Other people, I've seen a lot of people were just concerned, how does Stolas read the book? How does Stolas use the book? Can he not use the book? How did he get there? How did he portal? And now Stolas, I'm not sure I've been pronouncing his name right now. Stolas is a very powerful demon. He is one of the most powerfulest demons in the lore at the moment, with only just a few people above him. However, everything that was done in that sequence was all done with... It is not just, oh, let's just do this. It is done with purpose. Everything that was done in that entry was done with proper thought behind it. So Stolas can actually see into the real world, because we've seen him monitoring Blitzy whilst he's taken a whilst he's taking a bath, and you can see him in the bubbles that just float up in the air. So he can monitor the real world. And as for interacting with the actual world, he basically possessed, using electrical interference, where that's what happened. Sorry, just trying to figure out how this goes. Okay, when he came in, he's essentially existing inside the human world, but he is not physically in the human world. He's essence, he's spirit, which is interpreted by us as EM signal. I think it's EM signals. But yeah, we've got devices that basically can tell when ghosts are around, like EM detectors, and they like beep and flash, basically electrical signals in the air, or shifting of certain wavelengths and wave signals. I don't know. Honestly, I did actually study this in one bit, but at a point in time, and now I've kind of really forgotten. But when Stolas is in the real world, he is in fact a spirit, and that spirit was symbolised by the fact that the TVs were buzzing, the lights were flickering off, and you can even see his footprints in the floor. But also another one of his abilities is to possess people, and he possessed the dead people that all of the cast members of IMP killed, to create a summoning circle around the main around one of the two, around the Scully figure. I was going to say Men in Black, but around the Scully figure, so that he could use her as a medium to come into our world through this ritual summoning. And therefore you saw him in his real form before he manifested himself into his bird form. And at that point here, after he turned the lights on, said greetings and everything, he just opened a portal. And people think, well, don't you need the portal? So don't you need the book? people, a lot of people were confused about why Luna couldn't open the portal because she couldn't read the spell. She couldn't read the spell because she hasn't memorized it, and when they should have memorized it already. And yet Stolas just comes in and just opens the portal without even looking at the book. So they think that all it needs is to just memorize the spell. You don't need the book. That's wrong. The book is the spell. The book is the power. You've seen it in the in the second episode, where in the episode of Lululand, where he's basically communicated with the book, say come on, and the book's hovering there inside its own field of magic, and he basically scoops up that field of magic to open up a portal into the air. He can incarnate without reading the spells, but that incarnation needs the book as a medium to be able to work. Otherwise, no book, no spells can be created, and therefore no spells, no portal. So even though Luna can't read the book, she still needed the book if she could read it. And therefore Stolas was just needed to be in the vicinity of the book to be able to use it without looking at the book, because he's got everything all properly set, and because you don't know what these spells are like. These spells can be so powerful that you need probably more mental capacity than an average person can actually hold in their entire lifetime to be able to read. These are demon summoning spells, like Necrotelecomnicon, which you can't even pronounce properly without half a pint of phlegm in your mouth. Sorry. But yeah. So that was my little gripe that I have when people commenting about on that. Sorry, I kind of like rambled on a little bit too much here, but trying to catch up. Ow, and ouch. Yep, stepping on all my wife's needlework. Final thing, He-Man has come out. Yes, again. I don't mean the He-Man that was out not too long ago that everyone hated because they said it was all about He-Man, but it wasn't about He-Man because they killed off He-Man and then they brought him back and then they killed him off again. But no, a new He-Man just dropped on Netflix just yesterday. I gave a little bit of a binge watch and I thought it was actually quite good. If you drop the pretense that it's got anything to do with the original, forget the original. This is a complete rework of the He-Man saga. It's more or less an origin story, so to speak. So or a rework of the origin story of how Skeletor became Skeletor, how He-Man became He-Man, how Cringer became Cringer, and all the lot of people. And yeah, as I was watching that, I really actually was quite enjoying it, and I think it's going to be a much more better viewing than what the other He-Man came out a few months ago was going to be like. But yeah, I think that's kind of all that I've got for now. So as I said, sorry that this one's been a little bit long-winded and filled up with lots of useless junk, but hopefully I can get back into the habit of getting more. So expect more videos. I've got to do more weekly updates. I've got to do the update. I've got to get on with the Galactic.Academy videos, so look out for those as well. We just did a little series of some horrors on VR chat, so look out for some more VR adventures in VR chat, as they're still coming up. And yeah, I've still got to work on the advent calendar for December, so hopefully I'll get onto that as well. So lots of things that are coming up. Hopefully we can get back into the act and start getting things sorted out again. A lot more games to play. 18 rate games as well. So another thing I wanted to check I want to review some 18 plus games, and I don't know how well YouTube would allow me to do it. The idea about these games is just because some games are sexual in content doesn't mean that they're not good games. There are some pretty decent games out there, but unfortunately because of their adult rating, yeah, I think they're just like smut, or they're just games to fap to. But they're not. There are some pretty decent adult rated games out there, and I want to try and see if I can review them for you guys. And if I'm reviewing them, I'm going to be reviewing them in their entirety, leaving nothing out. However, how will YouTube like this? I need to research that first. Alright, and my voice is going. I need to research that first before I get into that. So, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching this as much as I've done in creating this. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys out there.